So let's take a closer look at the migration timeline. So start to finish was about 6 months, but you said that your first event was in 4 months approximately.
Yep.
What are these issues that Snipitz had typical for the customers that you see, Kyle?
Yeah, I think so. I think definitely, as Andrew communicated, like there is a fear of how do I scale? Am I doing the right things? And as you adopt DevOps practices or scalability, that kind of it necessitates DevOps practices. There's always sort of a set of underlying concerns from a development team. And to give Andrew's team a ton of credit, they had a very robust application layer, but asking them to then implement all of the other parts of the system on top of it is a big ask. So, ultimately when we met them, through DigitalOcean, it was very similar to what we've seen in the past. And we were very comfortable from our perspective of what our platform and what our value-added service could support them. And so that timeline was quite predictable because they had already implemented quite a few important things, like a microservices architecture that makes adopting Kubernetes fairly streamlined.
And can you go over the stats that the actual hard numbers, as y'all can see on screen, by the first event, their deployment frequency for Snipitz was up 33%, and as I understand, as of today, the deployment frequency is up 360%. Could you explain that to us so we can?
Yeah. So one of the side effects or benefits, I should say, of our platform, and as people adopt Kubernetes, you have this awesome opportunity to retool how developers build, test, and deploy their software. One of the side effects of that is you can streamline what we call the developer experience. And what we do on our platform is then measure the touch points that developers have from code to cloud, whether it's build, test, and deploy. And we measure that using something called DORA metrics. And DORA metrics are an industry standard for how we can measure developer velocity and technology stability. And we saw amazing benefits, not only on deployment frequency, but also change cycles. One of the most important things in an early stage startup who needs to serve these amazing opportunities with new customers is speed to market with feature requests, bug fixes, all these things that are needed. And so the faster that the team is able to introduce something, but then the more confident they are that they can deploy it stably, this is how we measure success alongside these startups as a partner. And we saw amazing improvements around velocity and stability as the team adopted a CI/CD workflow and Kubernetes.
And one thing we also haven't mentioned is the human aspect of all this, the automation, the team health that you get from not having to be on the phone at night maintaining your servers. How does that look like from your perspective, Andrew? How does your team look like afterwards?
Yeah, no, it would have taken probably 6 months and a lot of money just to build a DevOps team that understood what we needed to do. So removing that whole piece of it saved us a half a year. And then once all of this was in place and having CTO manage it for us, it allowed our tech team to really just focus on feature sets that our clients were looking for and integrations with other third parties that we needed for real time, like Red 5 Pro and a couple of other interactivity type integrations. So it allowed us to focus on our product as a feature and what we need to do to differentiate ourselves in the marketplace, as opposed to spending most of our time trying to make sure nothing would break along the way. So it like I said, it really freed us up to be who we needed to be